medical
Sorry.
cries.
Before we started recording, Georgia told me that I had to really enjoy my drink. So there might be a lot of slurping.
I think it's really good to slurp. Because our nicknames are Slurp or Crier. That's what I've told the fans to call us.
For lack of a better option, this is the Town Crier jingle.
You shouldn't need to feel shame about that.
Thanks.
And what you shouldn't feel shame or stigma around either is having HPV.
No, and
I
don't. Which
You don't, what? You don't have shame over it, or you don't have it?
You know what? I don't have shame about not having it either.
All adventurous women do.
I know. And would you like to talk further on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my town cry. This is my brief town cry of the week because it's only Monday, but this has rocked my world. I cannot believe it, guys. I have human papillomavirus. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I'm so impressed you did the full thing.
Papillomavirus? I have HPV.
I think that's amazing that we've gone straight into public service broadcasting in episode 2.
Genuinely, like, am I supposed to be ashamed about that? Like, I wouldn't be coming on this podcast and being like, I have chlamydia. Oh, but maybe
we would. There's no shame.
I think that young women would be so glad to hear that 2 of their idols have had STIs.
Yes. And what I'd also say is I do feel shame about the fact that I shared that beautiful good news story about how we had virtually eradicated HPV in young women because of the vaccine program
It's interesting.
a week before you find out you've contracted HPV.
Yeah, God's been having a little joke and a laugh with me because what was it?
Like 16 to 24-year-olds have basically not contracted HPV in this country because of the success of the vaccination program.
Oh, so that has nothing to do with the smear tests.
No, but the smear test is also amazing.
This is what I don't understand. I thought I was 28 years old and I knew enough in this life just to get by. And now I'm shaken to my core. That's not the truth. I don't know anything about getting HPV. We all got vaccinated, right? So what's that for? Just different strains, maybe?
really reduces your chances, I think.
Oh, that's funny. Does it
I think it
really?
makes you special.
Right.
It's like being left-handed.
Well, let me start from the beginning. I got my second ever smear test. I turned 28, the letter came, the appointment was booked. Guess what, guys? I didn't tell anyone about it. Yeah, that's right. I didn't feel the need to share that I was getting a smear test with anyone.
Yeah, I know, and that's interesting to me, but may I just ask, out of an interest in NHS efficiency, when was this smear test? You could share it for the good of the population.
I'd say it was maybe 5 Mondays ago.
Okay.
Maybe even 6.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and maybe I should have told someone about it because I don't remember. All I know is I felt very, very grown up and mature walking into my second smear test
Not telling anyone.
ever mentioning it. It's just a normal thing that I do as a woman these days. Just get in the stirrups and see what happens. And it was very clinical. It was a little unsettling because I usually deal with SHL, and I feel like I need to shout out SHL for being like the best, most perfect angels that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my life.
SHL is essentially a faceless organization to us. We receive texts from SHL. Have we ever actually met?
Have you never been to SHL Archway?
I've never been in person.
What the hell?
No.
Get yourself down to SHL Archway and or probably any of the clinics. They are so delightful. They are just so kind and lovely, and they make you feel so at ease. I've been there to get my coil fitted. I've been there for STI checks. They always give you a pregnancy test just cause, which is really nice. So I was trying to get my smear test through them, but I was like, oh, I'll just go to my GP. And wow, it was very grown up. It was very mature. The nurse was like, name, date of birth. Would you like a chaperone? And I was like, no, I don't.
Why did you say no?
Why did I? Because I'm grown up. I'm grown up and mature. So I said, no, don't worry. I do this all the time. It's my second smear test. Got it, left. Everything was fine. But then over the weekend, I was speaking to a friend who had just had HPV and told me what happens after the diagnosis, which for her was pretty unpleasant. I'm not gonna lie. She had to get I don't know the word.
How you say?
How do I explain this in a suitable for work type of way? You know what? If you're a squeamish listener, maybe don't listen to this bit. But they basically had to burn like all of the cells in her cervix while she was awake and conscious.
There's definitely a lack of education on this matter because I had no clue that was a part of the procedure.
Neither did I until like 2 days ago when my friend was telling me like, oh yeah, so it turned out that her smear test was positive. They did some more tests and then boom, she's getting her cervix melted. And she said it wasn't a very nice thing. And I said, yeah, I'm sure. And I said, oh God, wow, sucks to be you. Hope my result's okay. And now here I am. And they've never said, I looked at all the pamphlets and resources that they gave me in the letter today. At no point have they said anything about the burning.
They
keeping
aren't telling
this
you
secret?
about the burning until it needs to come to the burning.
I think we should spread awareness that cervical burning is happening.
Is the thing. But we should also spread and emphasize the fact that it's still important to get the burning done. If it's happening to you, we are not scared of medical settings.
Cervical burning is so much better than cervical cancer, guys. Like, I can't stress that enough.
Now that's the truth.
Get your cervix burned, should that need to be the case. But hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll be fine.
Okay. I guess I don't really have a town cry for the week. I mean, can my cry be joyous?
Oh, your cry can be joyous.
Okay, I guess we're going like match for match. I'm back on the antidepressants.
Yay!
But I'm on a different one and it's working so well for me.
Wait,
I feel so
this is
good.
amazing.
Yes, Prozac will do wonders.
I've heard. Wait, what
It's
were you
real
on before?
good.
Sertraline?
Sertraline.
Nah, never trusted it.
No, had no libido, was incredibly flat. I think
Yeah.
it made me worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really liking Prozac.
Okay, so when did you get it?
I've been on it for like 3 weeks, maybe a month now. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So that's my town cry.
That is joyous. I mean, when you announced it like that, I'm not gonna lie, I went through the motions. Just in case, because should I be saying sorry to hear that?
No, I was just like, I would like to feel a bit less anxious, but I haven't been feeling like super depressed.
The thing is, like, anxiety really, really sucks. And medication can make you feel so much better. So if that's an option available to you, I am so unbelievably for it. You don't need to torture yourself. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to be so anxious. You can just take a lovely little Prozac every now and again.
Just as a little treat.
Yeah.
But I guess that's a good way to segue onto our Oye Oye. Ooh. Because I was listening to Radio 4 this morning, and I was listening to a study which suggests that 1 in 10 children are now reporting anxiety or anxiety symptoms. And obviously, there's a real link, people think, between the kind of onset of social media and mental health problems in the young. So we thought today we might just talk about the social media ban.
Yeah, because why is that statistic not at all surprising to me? Like, I feel really sadly numb about the fact that, yeah, I'm kind of expecting children to have anxiety these days. I just wonder how much of this anxiety is related to social media, because I'm thinking back to when I was a child. I can't lie, I was a very anxious child without social media.
I think it's like a confluence of factors. They're living through one of the most anxious times in human history.
Yeah.
The economy's really crap. Kids are aware that like their parents are struggling financially.
Climate change.
Should we talk about climate change? But I do think that when they call them the anxious generation, like it's not necessarily causation, social media, but I definitely don't think it helps because it just like amplifies everything they're already feeling.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about the social media ban because I was so for it originally. I might be changing my tune.
Okay, I want to hear about that.
I might be being indoctrinated.
By whomst?
Oh, God. That's the question.
Arguments against. Tell me what you're feeling.
No, let's go arguments for first.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's really easy to talk about the reasons why we should ban social media.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my biggest argument is that children's brains specifically are not designed to handle this much stimulation, and it's bad for their development, right?
Yeah, that is my main worry, is cognitive offloading.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like someone explained it to me, and I found this a really helpful framing, was that I wasn't sure how I felt about it in terms of, like, I guess, the infringement on liberty. But then someone said to me, you know, teenagers will always try and drink, but it's still a good idea to have rules governing the fact that they can't buy alcohol, because if you just, like, kind of blanket try and catch them with a net, it limits the number of people who can try and break those rules.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
So I guess that's how I feel about the social media ban.
The only thing is it not a different kettle of fish entirely?
Yes. No, so true.
Hang on.
Peach Schnapps versus Snapchat.
Whoa. Hey, that's a good title.
Just feels so interesting to me that social media is treated any differently to the same kind of, like, corrupting influence of something like alcohol. Because I know that obviously they are different, but I feel like if alcohol was invented today, we would probably immediately outright ban it as maybe a Class B or Class C drug.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting that because of the people who power things like access to the internet or social media companies or whatever, having the money to throw behind legislation or like policymakers, it means that they can just control the narrative about how, like, net good it is.
Yeah, but okay, if we're going to compare, then are you sad that we live in a society that is so centered around alcohol because of the way that legislation's gone there?
No.
It's
true.
interesting,
It's true.
isn't it?
It's true.
I saw this girl on a YouTube video. She was amazing. Basically, she had gone off of social media for 5 years, and she was talking about what had happened to her in that time. And she was just like, well, like, probably much the same stuff that would have happened if I had been on it. But I just felt much more present because I wasn't comparing myself to other people. I was just focusing on my own life so much more. Then her argument got interesting. I feel like this is a very commonly used argument. She said, if you get to the end of your life and somebody tells you that you spent 60 years of it online, you're going to be happy about that? And I get that. Like, no, sure, I wouldn't.
But it's not how life works.
Yeah, and I just feel like, first of all, you can fragment your life into many different things. Like, you know, you spend like 20 years on the toilet or something.
Like sleeping.
Yeah, like and working. Hey, no one wants to work. So, like, if you were to see that you'd been online for 60 years, I would probably be freaked out at that. But if you told me I spent 60 years in the pub,
So true.
though alcohol is a vice in the same way as social media, that's just how our society is working. And it can be quite fun. Do you think it's actually useful to compare social media to alcohol?
No, you're so completely correct, because I am a real A, hedonist, and B, libertarian about the fact that obviously as someone who is a smoker, has been a smoker since I was about 16, whenever people say to me, oh, you'll regret the money you spent smoking, or, you know, the thousands of pounds you paid for cigarettes, or like the damage you're doing to your body, I'm like, but I really am a big believer in A, I'm enjoying it in the moment, and B, I think people have the right and the liberty to do whatever harm they want to do to themselves without anyone else being able to say anything about it. So if I do want to spend 75 years on our fucking Instagram, I will.
And no regrets.
I'm going to be sitting on the toilet, chain smoking, watching Instagram reels.
In the pub bathroom.
In the pub bathroom. So yeah, I don't know. I guess, I mean, I would love to hear friend of the pod, sister of the pod, Jamie, our teenage correspondent's opinions on this.
It's
But
fun.
one thing I was going to bring up was that I was reading some of the kind of findings from the Australia social media ban, which is obviously the first country in the world to pursue it. Some of the initial findings do suggest that since it was introduced, A, obviously kids will find a way, but B, the kids who aren't quite tech savvy enough to find a way are being forced into kind of darker corners of the internet rather than conventional social media platforms. So there's some evidence it's actually doing more harm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see that. I wonder, has there been any data around the porn ban in the UK and whether that's pushed adults or children into darker parts of the internet? Because like that is the closest thing we've got, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing I really know about how the porn ban worked is that VPNs, like purchases of VPNs shot up by like 1,000,000% on the day. And that also is a really scary point in terms of arguments against the social media ban, because the more you ban platforms and websites and corners of the internet, the more that people will use VPNs as a way to get around them, which then gives governments incentives to look at trying to block that. And I think that type of crackdown is getting slightly worrying. Legislation is a good thing,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to have to come from the platforms themselves. Essentially, what I read about it, which started to change my mind, was that there is no way to for kids to prove that they're underage without everyone having to prove their age, and therefore sending a lot more information to the social media platforms and therefore technocrats that are running them, that they can then manipulate us with. Like, this is where it gets really messy, because it's like, in order for them to prove that they're underage, we also need to prove that we're over it,
Yeah.
16. And I don't know how all that works, but I think it's kind of a buzzword whenever somebody says privacy and data breaches and all of that world. I just freak out. I don't want my information to be sold or stolen for AI.
Which I completely get, because I think basically what we've done is, because we never legislated the internet, governments have never built their own systems for policing the internet.
Exactly.
And for that reason, we have to just continuously cede control to people like fucking Mark Zuckerberg, who I hate. I don't think I hate anyone more on this planet than the technocratic
Yes.
class.
Yes.
So
Okay, and can I just
yes.
say, I got a response to my story the other day. I was like, oh, like these power-hungry technocrats. I was going on one of my rants, and I got a response saying, hey, technocracy is a good thing. Like, look at Singapore. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Lots to
Shout
say
out
there.
Singapore.
But I would say, to clarify, a technocracy isn't necessarily a good or bad thing innately. But if the technocrats who are at the top are very corrupt, power-hungry, evil people.
If these guys are the ones who represent
these
technocracy.
specific technocrats,
Yeah.
I got a problem with, of
Yeah.
course. And I think, I just hate how much everything is linked in this huge mess that we can't untangle without getting into bigger messes. And, you know, this is one of my biggest problems with AI is that, okay, it might be a really good tool. And I think that if we could get it right before we release it, if we could regulate it properly before releasing it to the general public, take it out of the hands of the technocrats and into the hands of the people, like, we have an opportunity here to not entangle it further in this horrible power structure where it's the rich people like Mark Zuckerberg that like reap the reward of everyone else using their platforms. We've seen it happen with social media. It just we already fucked up. It went too fast. Legislation is just trying to catch up now. It doesn't need to happen with AI, but it feels like it's going to go the same way.
Yeah, or like my other thought was, and I do want to hear what your sister thinks, but my other thought was essentially we outright ban phones in schools. And I know loads of schools have unofficial bans, but I think at least if we are trying to protect children's brains in the immediate moment that they're learning, that might be helpful.
Yeah. You're not saying ban social media in schools for example, a teacher could still show an educational YouTube
Yeah.
video, but students shouldn't have their phones.
I think like hardline, like kids have to lock phones when they arrive at school. You know, they can get them at the end of the day to text their parents and say, pick me up. But I think essentially it should be like an infraction so serious that you could get expelled.
Oh.
Because, I mean, in the same way that if you drink alcohol in the school.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep, I'm actually not very nanny state. I would say I'm actually like relatively.
We should ban
liberal.
alcohol in this studio. I have major anxiety about what we spoke about when we were so drunk.
So bad about that. I lay in bed that night and I thought, wow, well done you for derailing your first ever podcasting session by taking Daisy to buy cocktails.
No, I still have one if you want it.
Obviously, that's what we're doing at the end.
No, I think that's a good point. I'd say I love this argument and I'm pro. And I think that, yeah, a flat out ban, an all round kids cannot access this, it does present a lot of problems when, if you're just saying schools can ban it, and obviously parents can and should monitor their child's social media usage, that would probably be more useful and helpful to kids. Because in the same way as like when I ban myself from using social media, sometimes you really need to see something. Sometimes you're trying to learn a new braid in your hair. And the best way to do that is, I'd say pretty objectively, to just go on a short reel that tells you how to do it. And like, this is the hard truth, which I'm always fighting with my mom about. It's like, social media is actually a really cool and good thing.
Yeah, I would say as a teenager, it changed my life in many ways.
Yes, and for the
better, like 100% for the better.
Yeah.
As a lonely teen, I don't.
I'm like having flashbacks of like so many of my online experiences as a teen. I would say, yeah, there were some good times. I mean, I found a love for visual media when Instagram was first invented, and I was like snapping little pics and using those, what were those filters called? There was like Valencia.
Oh, Valencia.
That was my favorite, like, original Instagram filter. I thought it was amazing. So yeah, that was really fun and good for my development, I'd say, a creative outlet. But suddenly I'm just having flashbacks of what Pro-Ana Tumblr, Ask FM,
like for a rate.
doxing. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Raping.
Yes.
Oh. Can you believe that?
I can't believe that was a term. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dark time. Like seeing my first beheading on Facebook in 2012.
No, that's right. I feel it's so weird that so many people our age all watched a beheading on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched some really fucked up shit. Honestly, it still haunts me to this day, the things that I saw on Facebook. Does anyone care?
Well,
because I also feel like when I'm saying this, I'm not joking. I've fucked up from the things that I saw on Facebook as a tween. But I feel like when I say this, like, guys, I'm really fucked up from everything I saw, like, genuinely nobody else gives a fuck. Like, the kids don't care, the adults don't care, people older than us don't care, people younger than us don't care. Like, no one was there. It's just us being like, guys, does anyone remember that?
Well, because I think we were the real turning point.
Yeah.
For its full insertion into people's lives.
So you would think that it would have gotten better for kids today. But
yeah.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know. I guess my parents always had a rule, which was we were never stopped from reading a book if we were feeling uncomfortable about it, or it was too challenging or upsetting for us. They were like, you can just put the book down, but we're never going to say you can't read something.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was quite a healthy rule to have, because it just meant if I encountered something unsettling, I would just go ask them about it. And it was an educational moment.
I understand what you're saying.
But at the same time,
you're never going to get addicted to a book.
Yeah,
this
and
is
also
where it gets complicated.
Yeah, like there's a difference between reading about a beheading and watching a beheading on Facebook.
Yeah. And I was talking to a friend about this recently. It numbs you. It
takes the pain away.
I consume reels genuinely like I would probably consume cigarettes.
Yeah, or
like
heroin.
To take the
no,
edge
same.
off.
Yeah, 100%.
If I'm having like some sort of thought that is in any way anxiety producing or stressful, like I am picking up my phone and I'm scrolling. I'm numbing my brain. And so that's the fucked up thing, because if I see a beheading when I'm scrolling, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep scrolling.
Yeah, and you're already in this kind of like hypnotic lulled state. So you feel kind of, yeah. And so you feel kind of dead into it when you see something really shocking, which is really bad. And to really extrapolate, and again, cigarettes are bad, but like the difference is with a cigarette, you finish it.
Whoa.
Which is why vaping is bad, because you don't finish it in the same way.
Yes, and in the same way, to bring it back to alcohol, at least with alcohol, you've got a hangover the next day.
Yeah.
As a reminder of like, that was a really bad thing to do, by the way. Don't do it again.
Social media, you don't know you're getting stupider.
You don't know you're getting stupider. You don't know you're getting number. You don't know when to stop. There is no stop. Oh, I saw this cool thing, which I would like to try. Right now, I have this, not to plug a brand, I will not say the name, but I got by the social media advertising of one of these apps that like blocks your social media.
Oh, yeah.
And so you like set times when you don't want to use specific apps. So I did like YouTube, Instagram. They're the only social medias I have on my phone. But then I also did WhatsApp, because we need to talk about WhatsApp's place in the social media sphere big time. But so I did Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp just because they are the 3 things that distract me the most when I'm trying to focus at work. So 9 to 5, I was blocked from them. And it does work, but it mostly just annoys me because there's always something, like sometimes I need to do work and I have to post something on socials for work purposes, and then I have to unblock, or like I really need to message someone, I have to unblock. Like there's just tons of times when I was ending up unblocking. And every time you unblock, you have to do a maths exercise, or it like tells you to like.
Hell, I would never.
Yeah, genuinely.
Wow, that actually could kill me. Is the difference.
And it's like, I know, and I do kind of get it. It like gives you like 3 maths questions, and if you answer them all, it says like, yay, here's your dopamine. Like, are you sure you still want to go on these apps? Because I just gave you a dopamine hit. And in my primal brain, I do feel like that hit is the same as the validation that you get from social media. Anyway, it's fine, but I unblock it a lot. So I just saw another ad for an app that instead of blocking, it like hacks into your Instagram. Again, I don't know what this means for data and privacy, but it basically changes your Instagram layout, so it removes reels and it only shows you posts from your friends.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that was a very innocent time when Instagram was
it's like
starting out.
They're taking it back to what it used to be.
The idea that you could complete Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're all caught up.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah. Except I would get to that quite a lot. It was already quite addictive.
I would finish it every time after school, and you know, there were even like certain hours of the day where you were meant to post after school, and then everyone would be on it, and you knew that it would be seen and liked and whatever. But
wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So true.
Prime time was what we called it. Yeah.
But we kind of came up with that ourselves, right? Like there was no data telling us
that it was called prime
time.
No,
we just all kind of knew as a group that you were more likely to get more likes.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. But when you said earlier that you would like to discuss as well whether WhatsApp counts, I don't think of WhatsApp in any way as deleterious to my life or my health. I mean,
well, you should.
Probably yes. But I love being in touch with my siblings all the time.
And this is the thing. Social media is fun. Social media is good. WhatsApp has to be included because, first of all, it's part of Meta.
Yeah, true say.
And Meta are evil. And it is very distracting. You can live with that. It's not a messaging platform in the same way that texting would be. Like, it's got functions that are designed to keep you hooked and keep you checking.
Well, particularly, I mean, you're very smart about this, but because it has things like read functionality and you can even see like who in the group has seen the message, and you've turned that off, and you've also turned off your profile saying when you were last active, right?
Yeah, because that
which is healthy, I think.
Really evil. That is such an evil function. No one needs it. My mom is always saying this. I will always go back to this argument of like how amazing communication is now compared to how it was 50 years ago. People of previous generations would be so thrilled to know that today I can just text my friend in New York and immediately she gets the message. Like, that's wonderful. We can call, we can see each other's faces no matter where we are in the world at any time instantly. That is a miracle and we should be so grateful for that. And I am. But no one needs the last scene, blah, blah, at this time, or this person has read your message. The only thing that's good for, in my mind, is just provoking anxiety.
Yes, and it does get to the point sometimes. I mean, obviously, I hate replying when I don't have the bandwidth to reply. You know that about me. And I feel like it does get to the point where your WhatsApp starts to feel like your work inbox. And I'm like, this is a chore for me to respond to my good friend of many years.
I just feel like I've been driven to rage in a few of my recent conversations. I really I want to lash out. Because people are talking about, social media really needs to be banned for kids. It's so bad for their brains. They don't understand the damage they're doing to themselves. It's the worst thing that they could be consuming. And I'm like, the same is true for adults. The same is true for you, the person who is arguing this case right now. Like, why are you preaching all this about kids using social media and then going home and sitting on your phone for 5 hours?
Because
it's the same.
I'm an adult. Like that.
By the way, I wasn't... I didn't mean you specifically. But I don't think it's useful to list all these arguments about why kids shouldn't have it and then completely ignore that all those arguments are also true for us.
But I disagree with you because I think that is what happens when you become an adult. Like, you are enshrined with rights which we do not afford children.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just saying that if you think it's so bad for children,
like,
realize that it's also
like,
really
take
bad
a long
for
hard
you.
Look. Yeah. That's
and like,
true.
Maybe practice what you preach a little because you're making some really good points.
Yeah.
And like, I know I'm saying this and I'm a huge contradiction. I am literally going to post this on social media. And I think that maybe is about the rights that are afforded to you as an adult. Like, you can just damage your brain if you want to. It's just, again, funny that I was there. I was on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Tumblr taught me how to self-harm. And like, I was speaking to a friend who had the same thing happen. Like, we both started self-harming because of Tumblr. And then I was talking to my sisters, my younger sisters, and I was like, yeah, just telling this like nonchalantly, like, I started self-harming because of Tumblr. They were horrified. They could not believe what I was saying to them. They were like, oh my God, Daisy, I didn't know you went through that. Like, are you okay? Like, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, there really is a disconnect because that type of thing I don't think is happening now. Remember 13 Reasons Why?
Yes. Oh my God.
And it like taught you how to commit suicide, that scene when she's in the bath. That was crazy.
Insane. Yeah.
So that type of legislation and regulation has made a difference.
Yeah. There are really strict reporting guidelines about suicide and self-harm. You're not allowed.
Have there always been?
I actually am not sure when they were introduced, but I think definitely for at least the last 15 years, you're not meant to report on method or anything. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, Tumblr was a lawless place. It was so weird that you were learning on the one hand, like, how to do a beehive.
Yeah.
Or how to do winged eyeliner. And then on the other hand, it was literally how to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess teenagers aren't on Tumblr anymore.
Yeah, and that is a great thing.
That is a great thing. Nowadays, it's so much more fractured and your appetite is so curated by the algorithm and what the algorithm figures out that you like that I think basically if you're a teenager with a niche interest, you can find it, but you have to go looking for it. Whereas there isn't kind of like, I guess we had like a homogenous interest as a like subset of our generation in things like Tumblr. Like, everyone was consuming the same thing.
Yeah. And
so
the niche interest driven algorithm, I think can be a good thing.
Yeah.
If you want to learn to draw, for example, I'm 15, I want to learn to draw. You can do that, and you can really improve your skills like
Yeah.
so quickly and with a gorgeous community of people doing the same thing through social media. That's great. I want more of that. I don't want to take that away from kids.
Yeah. No, I don't want to take that away from kids either.
And in fact, I would even say they can spend 8 to 10 hours
learning to draw
through social media. Like if you've got your phone up or your laptop on, but what you're doing tutorials through Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, I think that's okay. Is that crazy?
No, I don't think that's crazy.
I asked my 16-year-old sister to ask her friends and give us some insight into what the young people think about the social media ban. I also asked my next door neighbors. They are 9 and 10, and they said that the ban is a really good thing.
Oh, wow.
They say that they personally don't use social media because they're not allowed to anyway, but that their older sisters, who are 14 and 16, use it far too much. So they're excited to get to play with them more, which I thought was really sweet.
Kids are all right.
But it does seem like when I was speaking to them, they see social media in kind of the same way as, say, we would have seen cigarettes.
Yeah.
Which is they have been told it's a bad thing and they are steered away from it. So again, like, I don't think things are as bad as we're making them out to be because our world is so social media oriented. Like, kids aren't being fed that. They're not being encouraged to go online anymore.
Oh, yeah. Like, so much of this talk is me being like, old man yells at cloud.
Yes. I know. And like, well, I can't wait to hear other people's perspectives. And I think we should encourage the likes of, for example, teachers, parents. Like, please
write in.
Tell us what WhatsApp us. We'll get your message instantly. Okay, so the general consensus from the 16-year-olds is that it's a good idea, but because it won't affect them because they're already 16, they say that, if you're under 14, you really need the ban, but probably 14 to 15-year-olds, they know what they're doing. They need their Snapchat. They understand the risks of using social media already, and you should just let the 14 and 15-year-olds just stay. Maybe decrease the ban. It's very much like exactly what I would say about, like, getting to vote when I was 12.
Yes,
it's
yeah.
I really feel like I'm old enough, guys.
But that 10-year-old, however.
Yeah, 10-year-olds know nothing. But, like, just let me do it because I get it. But then, okay, one of my sister's friends sent a very, very passionate paragraph that I'm going to read to you now. She said, I think the ban is a great thing, and I wish it happened years ago because teens are addicted to social media, and I feel like it's impossible to get off it. And those complaining about it are the reasons it should be banned, because people are always like, oh, it shouldn't be banned. It's a lot of people's whole lives. Yeah, but it shouldn't be. Social media is so harmful and completely desensitizing people and turning everyone into robots, but no one can quit because of FOMO and the way it's so embedded into life. It's definitely a good idea, as no one in their developmental stage of life should be seeing the horrors on social media. And I can personally say I feel like I've lost so much time and motivation to it. Although it's good for expression, and I feel like I have become the person I am through media, it should defo be for over 16s. Social media also affects the mental health crisis so much. No wonder everyone is struggling. We're constantly on a dopamine high and only ingesting 12-second chunks of media and seeing horrible videos like genuine war crimes and assaults and then videos of dog cakes in the next 30-second period. I think the ban is great. We all need to get outside more. I do get that a lot of who you are is shaped by social media, and it can be really uniting, but maybe we should unite over something that isn't scientifically proving to be killing our brains.
Okay, that was excellent. Thank you so much to that listener.
Pippa Newton.
Pippa,
thank you so
Pippa,
much for
you've been
sending
liking
that in.
all our posts. We love you. That was brilliant. Seriously, you should submit that as coursework.
Yeah. And I that last line gave me chills. It's true.
Yeah.
I am the type of person that sometimes makes the arguments of like, oh, but people can build careers and it's people's livelihoods and but let's not do that. Let's steer away from that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. We could go outside.
We could all go outside and hold hands. Maybe just jump once. See if we could stop the world turning.
Oh, here we go. But I'm just not sure if the government introducing a blanket ban is going to help the situation.
Yeah, I guess like the last thing we'll say is that obviously it's a desperate attempt by Keir Starmer
Oh, God.
to secure a legacy. And it's like weirdly almost a party unifying policy.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically everyone agrees kind of with the idea that children and young people are on social media too much.
Yes.
So it's just kind of a happy-go-lucky easy win.
Yeah. And I think everything can be true at the same time.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the hard
kind of
thing.
like overwhelmingly the message of the pod, I would say.
Social media for teens and children, gray area, real gray area. I don't know what to think because Pippa has now just convinced me that all my arguments are wrong.
Yeah, I guess verdict in the town square is we all just need to talk more about this issue.
Yeah.
No hard conclusions yet.
Yeah.
And it's better to take a considered approach to legislation than rush through something that will just be piecemeal and ineffective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
Thanks.
Oh, yay! Oh, yay! Are we signing off? That was a really good. That was so good.